Good day and welcome everyone, Stuart here from Northern Bolt & Tool, and today we're going to be looking at Ingco's range of 20 volt chainsaws. There is a 40 volt unit available, but today we're just going to be looking at the 20 volt range. Now there are some smaller chainsaws and larger chainsaws in the range. As you can see, there's three here. It starts with a 6 inch, 8 inch and goes up to this 12 inch here in the middle. In terms of pricing, the 6 inch is actually a little bit more expensive than the 8 inch, but I'll get into that and tell you why. And obviously the most expensive one is this 12 inch unit here. So with that, let's get into the unboxing. I'll show you guys more about these tools, show you why the price difference exists, and that'll help you guys make a purchasing decision by the end of it. Alright guys, starting out with the 6 inch chainsaw. This is the smallest one in the range. As you can see when you open up, you've got the tool here. You've got this nice guard over here, nicely secured with these studs. Got the plastic guard on the top of it. Over here, turning it around, you've got your oil reservoir, so it does self-lubricate the chain. You've got your spikes over here to grip into the material when you're cutting. It does have the safety underneath here and a trigger as well. The safety is very, very ergonomically designed. You can activate it very easily with the thumb and the trigger. So yeah, quite a nice tool there. It is a brushless unit, which is very, very nice. We're going to take this guard off and do an RPM test as well as a cutting test with all of these tools. So that's pretty much how this machine comes, what it looks like. Digging into the box further, you've got your little 6 inch bar over there, and it is very, very small. You've got your spanner to loosen and fasten the cover over here. You've got a flat screwdriver here. This is for your chain tensioner. Owner's manual, the little guard over here to put over your bar and chain, and then you've got the chain itself. So that, let's have a look at the 8 inch and see what that comes with. Alright guys, let's have a look at the 8 inch chainsaw over here. Open up the box and you get a mini chainsaw. Nice spikes over here, your guard over here, nice handle, good for gripping. You've got your bar, and again with a protective case or covering for the chain when it's installed. You've got your chain over here. Again, another spanner with a flat on the end here. That's for your chain tensioning, obviously, and to fasten and loosen the cover for the chain and the bar. You've got this little bottle here. It is empty, there's nothing inside it. This is for your oil. So this, as you can see here, if you've noticed, there's no oil reservoir bottle. So this is not a self-lubricating chainsaw. So you do have to lubricate it every now and again. Over and above that, you've got your owner's manual, and that's about it. So if you look on the side here, it says lubricate the chain every 3 to 5 minutes. So every 3 to 5 minutes of use, you need to put some oil in here, lubricate the chain, and carry on with your work. A little bit of a schlep compared to the others, but this one is quite a bit cheaper than the 6 inch. We'll talk about that shortly, but let's dive into the 12 inch for now. Let's see what it comes with, and we can do some testing on these tools. Lastly guys, we've got this 12 inch unit here. Comes in a little bit bigger box, obviously. It's a bigger machine. So the machine itself is quite a bit bigger than the others. That's what it looks like. In here you also get your chain, obviously. You get your bar with the cover, and you get your owner's manual. Now you'll notice you don't get a spanner with this machine, and that's because this knob here is for removing and fastening the cover again. This is your chain tensioner over here. You've got a chain lock. The chain lock is operated by this piece over here. You just push it forward or back to engage or disengage it. You got your oil tank over here on the side. It is a bit of a weird one to have the cap on the side. If you are working like that, it could potentially leak, but obviously if you don't fill it right to the very top, it should be all right. It does seal relatively well. Yeah, the battery goes in the back here. All of these machines have brushless motors. This one, the safety is quite a little bit more involved than the other two. So first you have to press this on off button here, hold it, and once the green light is on, then you can engage this safety over here and pull the trigger and the machine will run. So with that guys, let's take these covers off so we can do an RPM test, and then we can do some cutting and see how they perform. Alright guys, RPM test on the 6 inch unit. I'm going to slide the battery in here. Press the safety button over here until the green light goes on. It is quite a while, I must say. So that gave us 5,100 RPM. Quite a quick little motor. Let's test the 8. Alright guys, now we've got the 8 inch over here. You can slide the battery in. You'll hear the audible beep when this thing is engaged. The other two machines don't actually have that available. So now I'm going to do some RPM testing. There we've got around 12,500 RPM. So really quick machine over here. Quite a good result. Let's test the 12-inch. Alright guys, lastly we've got the 12-inch unit. Let's see, slide the battery in. I'm going to turn, you'll see the light come on. The only one with the audible beep is the 8-inch, just so you guys are aware. Okay, a little bit awkward here to show you guys, but let's go. Over here we had around 11,200 to 11,300 RPM, so a little bit less than some of the others, but I'm pretty sure this machine would have more torque. Obviously with the bigger blade, you might be able to cut through larger branches. So with that, let's get into some cutting and see how they perform. Alright guys, here with the 6-inch chainsaw, we're going to be cutting through this piece of wood. We're going to do 3 cuts per machine and see which one does it the fastest. Now I have put oil in here. You can see the reservoir has got some oil in. What's nice about this machine, you can actually put it down on this flat piece and it will stand there. So let me take the guard off here. Put the safety goggles on. Press the safety. The safety thing does take quite a while and is a little bit of a pain. But yeah, it is what it is. Test 1, 3, 2, 1. Wow, quite nice and easy. And last one. There you go guys, that's the 6-inch unit. Let's fire up the 8 and see how it compares. Alright guys, next up we've got the 8-inch. I have lubricated the blade. We have recharged the battery between tests, just so you guys are aware. I'm just going to turn this on. Now Ingco say every 3 to 5 minutes of cutting you need to re-lubricate the chain. We're going to be cutting for about 30 seconds, so one lubrication should be good. We'll test it out. Wow, quite a lot more powerful. Let's try it again. And again. Very easy, very impressive tool. Let's get out the last one and let's see how that compares. Alright guys, last one, the 12-inch unit. I have put oil in here. We have recharged the battery between tests, so we are good to go. So with that, let me turn it on and we'll cut some wood. Okay, test 1, 3, 2, 1. Wow, good power. Next one. Last one. Guys, that is a lot of power and that was effortless. Very impressive machine. Let's look at the times and let's make some comparisons. Okay, so what exactly happened? Well, the larger machine cut through the wood the quickest, that square block of pine. No real surprises there. The RPM from the motor was the same as the 8-inch unit, but the greater amount of torque that this larger machine was able to produce meant that it was able to cut through the test a little bit quicker. The small 6-inch unit took a total of 23 seconds to make all 3 cuts. The 8-inch unit took 15 seconds to make all 3 cuts, and the larger unit was the fastest with a total of 12 seconds for all 3 cuts. So you can see the progression up with the larger machines producing maybe a touch more torque. Now, in terms of price, this small 6-inch unit is almost, well, it's actually a little bit more than double the price of this 8-inch unit. The 6-inch unit sells for around just over 2,600 Rand. This 8-inch unit is around 1,250 Rand. And this large unit, the 12-inch unit, is around 3,600 Rand. So you can see this small unit is actually quite an expensive unit, and there are a few reasons for that. One of which is the self-lubricating oil reservoir, which in the beginning I thought was an essential thing to have, but after using this 8-inch a little bit and lubricating the chain on my own every few minutes, I realized that it's not the worst thing in the world, and you can actually use it. It's not a hindrance to work, especially for occasional cutting. Like if you're going to have a garden service type of operation, or if you're going to do tree felling, a lot of cutting, then you do need maybe something that does self-lubricate. In that instance, I'd recommend the large unit, definitely, with the possible option of the smaller unit. Obviously, the bar length also restricts how thick a branch you can cut, but with that, I mean, the little 6-inch didn't have any issues with regard to chain speed and torque and cutting through the actual wood. It just took a little bit longer, that's all. The performance of the actual cut itself wasn't as quick as this 8-inch unit, but one thing we did notice was that the cut that it made was a little bit more clean, and that's, I think, in part due to the smaller chain size. It did have smaller wood chips, and it did make a nicer finish cut, if that makes sense. So if you're after something with a better finish, then this is the guy for you. If you want something that's self-lubricating and you're going to be cutting smaller branches, then the smaller unit, you could justify spending 2,600 Rand. But I think for most people out there, skip the 6-inch, go for the 8-inch. It's half the price. Yes, you do have to lubricate the chain manually, but it's really not the end of the world. And of course, if you're going to be cutting larger jobs, it's a no-brainer. Get the bigger machine. This machine has plenty torque, and obviously with it being cordless, it is versatile. This is the demo unit, and we have actually used it quite extensively on cutting branches and that sort of thing. To put into perspective, off of one charge of a 4-amp-hour battery, I got about 2 hours worth of use out of it. That's not continuous cutting though. That's cutting and working with the tool, cutting into like small logs and that sort of thing. So not continuous cutting, but I was able to work continuously with this machine for approximately 2 hours, just so you guys know what you're getting into. So there you go. One last thing to note, this large machine I did mention in the beginning has the chain lock. This 8-inch machine does not have a chain lock, so this is just a guard over here. Obviously this unit here also does not have a chain lock or anything like that. So I hope I answered some of your guys' questions. All of these tools do cut very nicely. They're all very powerful, and they feel nice in the hand and really good to use. You will not be disappointed with any of these machines. You can buy any one of them and you will be satisfied with your purchase. So there you go guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. All of these machines are available online and in store. We'll have links below to our online store as well as our address should you wish to come in and have a look at these tools in person. If you'd like to come and try them out and cut something, let us know. We'll see what we can arrange for you. Obviously, just dependent on if the tools have been sent out on loan, if the wood is available, that sort of thing. So don't hurt me if we can't have all of these machines available all of the time. But yeah, we do have tools available. These tools will not be sold. They are loan or demo units, loan units. So when you come in for a repair, we're able to provide a tool for you so that you can continue working, so your job does not need to stand. That goes for all of the Ingco tools. So if you purchase from us, you can be rest assured that you will be looked after in the very unlikely event that your machine needs to go in for a repair. So with that guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I answered a few of your questions with regard to the Ingco range of cordless chainsaws. Again, all very good tools, and yeah, if you're interested in purchasing one, go ahead and buy it. You will not be disappointed. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you again next week.